Hello and welcome to another one of my drum tutorial videos, or possibly the first one you've seen. Either way, today we are looking at X16 time signatures, which even among people who work with like the basic meters like 7, 8, 5, 4 and stuff, a lot of them don't seem to, there's a lot of hesitation, a lot of apprehension about stuff like 15, 16, 19, 16, you know. And I get that. For a long time I was the same way. I didn't, it just sounded scary, you know. I didn't want to really even try it. It sounded too complicated. And it was really just before my first round of videos that I actually started working with them. But they're pretty simple once you get used to it. You know, don't let the double-digit numbers freak you out. They're basically the same as anything else. So, I'm just going to run through a couple of quick, I guess, exercises. You know, they're not songs, but just little fragments, little ideas of how you can integrate these meters into your playing. And this should be something that's really accessible to, my nose is really itchy right now, I'm sorry. Really accessible to people of any skill level, just about. You could get into this pretty early on if you wanted to. Alright, let's just get into it. The first question you need to ask yourself is, can I play a paradiddle? You can play a paradiddle. Okay, great. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right? It's like the first rudiment most people learn, okay? So what we're going to do is take a bar, paradiddles, 4/4, so 16, 16, and we're going to extend it by 3 counts. So just adding that right, left, left, right, and that puts us into 19, 16, right? 16 plus 3, 19. Yeah, so that's a good start. Good start to immediately make a mistake. So then move it to right at kick. I think my left hand's pretty sloppy there. There's a cat over there that you can't see, and when I started hitting this, she freaked out, and her eyes are so wide. Now she's looking at the TV like the TV did it. This is irrelevant. So you saw, it's kind of busy. It sounds kind of fast, but I mean it's just paradiddles, right? That's. I mean, getting them up to speed can take a little time. That's day one stuff. She left. Another thing we can do, still with paradiddles, we're going to be in 25, 16. Do a grouping of 5 at the end. So it's going to be a bar of 5, 4. First 5 beats are just paradiddles. And then for the last thing, we're going to do left, right, left, right, left. All of the lefts are going to be accented, and we're going to put the right on these toms. Okay? And do the rest on the hi-hat. So real slowly. Right? No, that's wrong. Right? So again, same kind of concept. It's just paradiddles with a little addendum, and it's got a pretty cool they both had like a really cool kind of angular vibe, but it still has a flow to it. So there's that. The other thing, well, not the other thing, but one other thing you can do is the same kind of concept as just an odd group of 16th notes, but then everything else kind of straight and typical like 4/4 or whatever stuff. An old example of that from an older video, I think it was the third tutorial, was this pattern: 2 bars of 15/16 and a bar of 17/16, where you're just doing quarter note, backbeat, dumb rock stuff, and then the last beat of the measure you're doing either a 3 or a 5, right? So okay, so that's an older thing. I don't need to belabor that anymore. Another way you can kind of use that technique is moving it earlier in the bar. So like if we do the 3 on beat 2 and we just stay in 15/16, we can do some cool stuff. So like it's hard to talk and play. Right? It's got a cool flow. But yeah, it still sounds like a basic kind of vaguely funky rock beat, you know. Okay, I think that's enough of that. The another approach entirely you can take is if you think of how we preserve backbeats and like 7/8 and stuff by taking a note and basically cutting it in half. So like, right, we're turning that last quarter note into an 8th note in order to get it to fit. You can do the same kind of thing with 16 notes. You take a an X8, cut one of the notes in half to be a 16th note, and suddenly you have an X16, right? So if we take like 7, we can cut one of those. In this case, we're going to cut the 4th in half, and that puts us in 13/16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? And it has the same sort of circularity that the like 7/8 and stuff like that has, right? So yeah, what we're gonna do to use that, we're gonna put 3 bars of 7/8, and then just the snare and 13/16. So. Get my bass pedal down a little bit. Yeah, sorry. Tighten them. Going the right way? Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of dry. What we're going to do next is move it around as like a fill. So, hi-hat, crash, tom, bang. And then we're just going to do quarter notes instead of writing every 8th note so that we can get some of that over the bar line stuff. This is going great. phone's ringing. Ignore that. Yeah, the phone is definitely ringing. Keep ignoring it. I won't. I'll keep talking about it. So that is what that is. That is what that is. You also hear that a lot in mathcore, the straight eighth notes with just the 16th note in, stuff just like, you know, really fast and then just really fast double bass. It's very, if you're ever listening to mathcore and you're wondering, you know, how they do stuff like that, it's a very simple technique. You just get it up to speed, right? But we can do a similar thing, like a math rock idea with the jagged stuff, something like, and that is, it's 7/16, but you can think of it as like the 7/8 permutation of, I keep hearing shit. Right, that old, like very basic introductory 7/8 beat, and then just take out all the rides, just quarter note. And then get it up to speed is 7/16. So what we're going to do is 3 bars of that, and then a bar of 3/8 where you play on 2, 4, and 6 of snare, kick, snare. Okay, so. 2, 4, 6. That's the 2 I was trying to get out, but yeah. You get the idea. It's got kind of a cool jagged flow to it. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm trying to go pretty fast in this one. My videos are really long. I don't think they need to be that long. So let me know. Let me know if this is better or worse, because I'm just kind of playing shit and going, yeah, yes, do it. Okay, next thing. All right, next thing. You know. I don't know if that's better or worse. I don't know what makes for good good tutorials, because I don't know who my audience is. So let me know who you are and what works for you. But yeah, I think that's about it for the video. So as you can see, nothing very difficult. You know, just paradiddles or just quarter notes, and then putting in like a 3 or a 5. Somewhere, or just, you know, cutting things in half like those last things. They're a little bit jagged, but they're not. They still flow. It's not that hard. I mean, just move your arms. Just count and move your arms. Just count and move your arms. There you go. That's like all the drum tutorials. Just count and move your arms.